we're joined today by Ellie Southward, an OE, who left, I think, Ellie 2-3 years ago.
No, I just left last year.
Last year. Was it only last year? Craigie, it's really soon. That's my memory's not serving me well. So welcome. Hope you're doing well in lockdown. And thank you for doing this talk this morning. We're just going to walk through a little bit with your school time here. I think, tell me when you joined the school. That was a little bit while back, wasn't it?
I think it was 2011 when I was in year 6.
2011, year 6. Because I do recall, I think I taught you PE at one stage.
Yep, you did.
As you came to the school. Do you want to tell us a little bit about how you came to join Ellesmere and your time here and how that all went through for you?
So when I was about 9 years old, I heard about the swimming program that was at Ellesmere, and I wrote a letter to John, who was the head coach at the time. And I came and looked around through the summer holidays, and I joined that September. So I started as a boarder in year 6, and I boarded all my way through lower school. And then in middle school, my parents moved so that I didn't have to board anymore. And then I went through the middle school and the sixth form doing my A-levels. I played some sports when I was a bit younger, other than swimming. So stuff like hockey and netball and cricket. And then I did my A-levels and my SAT exam to get into American unis, and swimming the whole time. So, yeah.
So that's interesting. I mean, I do remember you playing quite a few bit. Just going back to maybe your starting time at the school, you did used to play a few different sports. So obviously swimming is one of that sports that starts to envelop your time because it's such a time-demanding training kind of sport. So at what sort of stage do you start to realise that you wanted to just kind of focus solely on the swimming? What sort of age did that sort of start to happen for you?
So I started training when I was about 6 years old. So I've kind of always known that swimming was like the sport I wanted to do most competitively. But I guess when I was about 13, maybe even like a bit younger, like 11, 12, I guess, like even though I was doing the other sports at the college and they were really fun, I loved doing them, I knew that I wouldn't be as competitive in those as I would be in swimming. Yeah. Probably as Alan was the new coach at Titans, he probably like elevated my swimming like performance and stuff quite a lot. So I think that probably gave me the confidence and stuff.
Yeah, just to really, yeah. And did you feel I mean, I know that certain sports, they start to specialise quite early. Swimming's one, gymnastics another one. Did you feel that was the right thing to do at that time for you, and that really helped you to get ahead of the game, really, I guess?
Yeah, definitely, because it was actually like within a short amount of time from stopping doing the other sports that I did start to excel and do like higher levels, like swimming competitions and stuff. So it was definitely the right move.
And at that time, was the Titans, were you competing in the Arena League, or was it just sort of what sort of levels were you swimming at then?
So I was swimming at like the Arena League's like a really good team event that can go from like different levels, from like quite small clubs all the way up to national Arena League rounds and stuff. And I loved doing that with the Titans. And I was also doing like counties, regionals and national competitions as well.
So, I mean, goodness, your time, how did you manage to balance your swimming time? Obviously, you're kind of swimming morning and night and land training, and then all your studies, perhaps particularly through GCSE and A-level. How did you manage to kind of keep that balance?
It is like quite a tiring schedule. Sorry. But I think as long as you're disciplined and you know that like what you're doing, so whether that's for school or for swimming, you know that it's going to benefit you. So you just have to kind of stay quite disciplined, I guess. And I kind of like the challenge of doing my school and my swimming. Sorry, I quite like doing it.
Just a really sort of solid timetable and some solid goals, I guess. You set yourself to keep focused through those times.
Yeah, definitely.
So, I mean, just touching on perhaps goal set, and I know we'll get onto your route sort of after school, which has been a little bit different to what many people do from Ellesmere. But just in terms of like your goal setting, I mean, obviously during this time, it's kind of difficult for people maybe to see beyond a month or 2 months or whatever it may be. But what sort of What sort of strategies did you use with your own goal setting and setting targets for yourself during that time?
Particularly with swimming, me and my coaches would have meetings like quite regularly about where I wanted to go and what I wanted to do within like short-term goals, medium, long-term goals and stuff. So I always had an idea of even like goals within a training session, like how to set goals for my sport and performance that way. And I think especially at A level, I found it quite hard to set myself goals academically because I didn't really know how to push myself that much in terms of A levels because I don't know, I wouldn't say I'm the most academic person, but I enjoy the challenge, like I've said.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think working with my tutor, who was Margaret Hutchings, yeah, I think working with her and my other teachers from my subjects and like talking realistically about what I could achieve and how to get there and stuff, that also tied in with making myself a schedule, I guess.
Yeah.
Like trying to get towards the goals, yeah.
Yeah. I mean, so obviously then you've taken this route from school into American university. That's something that's obviously a little bit different to the normal path of people out of Ellesmere. They either sort of go to UK university or take a year out and do a bit of traveling or whatever it may be, and then get back into business or uni. But at what stage did you think that was an option for you and something that you wanted to do?
So I think it was in January of 2018. I came back from a swim meet in France and I went to Alan, my coach, and I just said like I wasn't enjoying it the same. I didn't know if I wanted to quit swimming, but I don't know, I wasn't as motivated and driven as I previously was. And it was upsetting because obviously swimming's been my whole life pretty much. And that's when I started discussing with him like where I wanted to take it after Ellesmere, because that was halfway through my first year of sixth form.
Yeah.
So it was kind of like, what would I do after Ellesmere and stuff? And he mentioned going to America for university, and it was something that instantly excited me, I guess. And we started like pretty much that day, like getting in contact with different universities out there. Yeah, and that's kind of where it started for me.
So did you do that independently or did you do it via an agent?
We did it independently. So Alan actually emailed, I don't know, maybe like 50 coaches out there.
Wow, yeah.
Yeah, and basically just said like, this is one of my swimmers, her times are, and then like sent my times. And if you're interested in her, send her an email basically.
Wow,
Yeah.
that's unusual because I think we obviously got some of the students that have gone, odd ones have gone to American universities, and there's so much choice in terms of where you can go and the type of university, the type of program, and the levels of sport, isn't there, in American universities? And I suspect most people would do it via an agent because it could be a little bit overwhelming. So that was so. How did you got some initial contact, I guess, from some coaches over there, and then how did that work through? Tell us about that.
So at first I just started getting emails from a few coaches saying like, yeah, we're interested. If you'd like to set up a call, we can. So I did. I started calling different places and I'd have my list of questions because I guess something that like I found out quite quickly was that it's not just them advertising to you. You've got to advertise yourself to them as well as an athlete. And like it's kind of like making sure that you're a fit for each other, I guess.
Yeah.
So I would have like my list of questions and I've researched the uni and like the different courses they offer and stuff. And then I got an email from Dave Collins, who's my coach now. And he basically said in the first email, like he wants to offer me a scholarship. Like he's really interested in me because he needs a backstroker, which is like my event. So yeah, and then I got talking to him and we called and literally, I think just kind of, we have the same mentality about things and he's just someone I got on really easily with to talk to on our initial call, and that definitely set him apart from necessarily other coaches and programs. Yeah,
so you made that human connection with the coach, and then so tell us, which university are you actually at right now?
I'm at Missouri State University.
So Missouri, and how did you visit it before you actually decided, or was it just like a huge leap of faith?
Yeah, so obviously like we Skyped with the coach and he did send me some pictures of the university at different points, so like different statues or like buildings or the pool, for example, but like I didn't actually go and visit.
So and when so this is a huge leap of faith now, isn't it? So
Yeah.
you finish school and you jump on a jet straight
Mhm.
out to the States, and then you find yourself at university. Talk us through that process. How did that all work out?
So when I first got there, my coaches were waiting for me at the airport so that they could drive me back. And I don't know, obviously I knew I was going to meet them that day, but it was quite real very quickly.
Yeah.
And it was just enjoyable, literally from the moment I stepped off the plane, like getting to know the coaches quite instantly. And then a group of girls took me out for ice cream that night, and just getting to know the team was like very quick, and we would all have like spend a lot of time together the first week because we were training but we weren't at school yet.
Right.
So it was quite nice to get to know everyone before we got straight into like the school and stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then the classes I was taking at first were general classes, so stuff like science and maths and religion and stuff like that, because that is compulsory at American universities. So I've just been getting through those at the moment before I start working towards my degree.
Right. Okay. That's amazing. So you have like a general. You get into class, and how would you compare like the swim program there to what you'd experienced here?
So the Titans is quite different just because I'm at a senior program now, so there's a lot more individual programming, I guess, now that I'm
Right.
at university. Like it's a lot more specific to my stroke, my event.
Yeah.
And so I'll be training with people in my event most of the time, whereas like at a junior program at Ellesmere, it's kind of like you do a bit of everything almost for
Yeah.
a while. So although that's probably right for people at that age, it's just different now that I'm at a senior level. Yeah.
Yeah. And what's the size of the swimming club there? How many swimmers are involved in there?
I think there's about 40
Oh,
people.
right. Okay. So it's not massive. It's not like a
No.
huge. No. And then what's the competition cycle there? Is it against other universities, or is it like a swim club thing, or?
So during like the winter part, so like September to December, we're mostly just doing dual meets, which is like us versus one other university, trying to score points and stuff like that. And then after Christmas, we go on a training trip, and last year it was to Florida, which was just amazing. And then we did do a couple more dual meets just in preparation, because then we had conference, which is like the biggest meet of the year, like collegiately.
Yeah.
And that's kind of like over 4 days, doing like your main events, and like you actually wear a race suit for that and stuff, because in the dual meets you don't really wear race suits, you just wear your training suits.
Right.
Which is a bit different for me as well, going over there and doing that, because
Yeah.
in England you tend to wear your race suits like all the time, whenever you race, so it's a bit different, but I really like it.
And how would you say? I mean, obviously, the United States, living in the United States, Missouri, that area. What have you found the benefits there? What have you enjoyed about that part of it outside of the swimming program?
Probably just the team and the people that I've met, because it's a hugely positive environment for me. And yeah, I just love the people. They're so positive. That's probably like the biggest thing for me. Yeah.
And so, we obviously now that when it sort of finished, I guess you had to come back home because of the COVID situation.
Mm-hmm.
I guess that's how the program wound up. How did that sort of start to manifest itself in the university? And obviously, this thing was sort of creeping westward, wasn't it, across the globe?
Yeah. So we were on spring break, which is kind of similar to half term, I guess, at the time. And I went to one of my friends' houses, and I actually had to go back to university to get all my stuff, because I knew there was like a high possibility that I'd be coming home.
Yeah.
So I spent a few nights in the dorms on my own, packing up my room. But yeah, I think my coaches were keeping in contact with me, making sure I had plans, making sure that I was looking at flights and stuff like that, because there was a high chance that the university would be going online for the rest of the semester.
Yeah.
So that's what I've been doing while I've been home until last week. I just finished my exams last week. Yeah.
Oh, right. Oh, gosh. Right. So you've been keeping busy at home as well with all your uni work.
Yeah.
Okay. So last couple of questions really is, obviously you've had this life journey. You've got yourself through the school year. You've gone through all the, the demands that a school and a swimming program puts on you, and then you've taken this huge leap of faith to go out to the States and start a program, not seeing it with your own eyes, which is amazing. What sort of advice would you give to other students who are maybe considering that sort of process, whether it's the States or overseas? What sort of experience you could tell it to yourself again? What might you do?
If I was speaking to myself, I'd probably be like, just take every opportunity that comes at you, because it's going to really benefit you when you're going out into the bigger world, because there is a world outside of Ellesmere, and I've really seen that while I've been in America. And one of my coaches and academic advisors at the moment in America says, the way that you do anything is the way that you do everything. And I think that I would tell that to my self, even just during A levels and stuff. I think that's a really powerful quote to me personally.
Yeah.
So yeah, I quite like that quote.
Well, Ellie, it's been fantastic chatting to you. I really appreciate you giving up your time. And we obviously all here wish you the very best of luck and hope you can get back to the States and your swimming as soon as possible and finish up your degree. And we'll all obviously be listening out to see how that all works out for you. And I'm sure it's such an exciting time ahead, which is a really nice optimistic way to think of things. There's these things out there to go and do and achieve, and a really powerful statement for other students here who may be considering taking that step, doing something a little bit different perhaps than the norm, and being brave enough to go and do it. And it's obviously working out brilliantly for you, and you're enjoying it. So thanks for chatting to us this morning.
Yeah, of course.
We wish you well and keep safe.
Thank you.